Thank you guys for coming. So we shouldn't be here too long. There's some things that N.A.T is going to transition into, and I feel like I have not been doing the best I can do as a leader of this company, and I'm making some drastic changes. If all three of you guys decide it's not for you, then I wish you the best. I'll give you the book, and hopefully you guys can find a good path in your life. As for me, I have been living a substandard life for far too long. So I've developed a mantra for my life, which I am going to be implementing for N.A.T. Work hard, stay humble, and help others. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. I don't want to bring people on, particularly in this room, as an employee. I'm looking for leaders, and this is more of a leadership development. And the first step is I want to apologize to you guys for not creating an environment where you know what's expected. I've got a business coach, and he talks about the first one to take blame of a sinking ship is always the captain. And N.A.T has definitely kind of been declining since Levi left. I kind of got Levi running the show, and he was doing great, and I fell back trying to do my own thing, and then Levi left, and I never really got it back into gear. So for that, the first step is I want you guys to know a little bit more about me. You look at me, and I'm pretty sure I shine up pretty good. I can wow the crowds. I'm not embarrassed. I'll go talk to the president and leading ladies, whatever. I have confidence, and that's because of my upbringing. To be perfectly frank, I grew up rich. I grew up white. I grew up privileged. White privilege was real. I didn't know about it. I didn't know it existed until I went to prison, until I lived on the other side a little bit. Not through skin color, but prison's prison. Either you're an inmate or a guard. Everybody's just as low to the community. And that's not what I want, but that's what I had. I had the best parents money could buy. My parents were devoted. They gave me everything, if anything, too much. You know, they didn't really let me stumble as much as I believe now that parents should. But what I've learned is that life is tough for anybody. Whether you're born into an educated family with money and you have expectations of greatness that you can't live up to or don't think you can live up to, or the other side, everybody's got a story, and life is tough. When I was 10, I had the dream of being a pilot. I found out this side doesn't work. I almost went blind. And so my grandfather, who was a commander in the Navy, my father, who was a captain in the Navy, my dreams got squashed. I realized I believed I couldn't do what they were doing. And so that killed my first dream. At 19, Brian's heard this before, I enlisted in the Navy. I wanted to be a SEAL, and I found out I was colorblind. On day 11 of boot camp, they gave us, all the guys that applied to BUDS, had a colorblind test. This yellow and white light flashed, and they said I failed. And you can't cheat a colorblind test. There's certain things you can't cheat in life, and that's one of them. So I started looking for adventure. My great-grandfather left Sweden at 12 years old as a cabin boy on a freaking boat. Bam, just disappeared. Hi, family. This was back in the early 1900s, and that's what kids did. They took off. And they came to America, and if you were white, you had everything going for you. And the reason I bring that up is because I want you guys to understand that you are not working for somebody that doesn't know the struggles that you have faced. I can't say I tasted it, but I'll tell you, I can finally understand because I've got some great friends who I've been through hell with the same skin color as you guys do, and these are people that I love, and I have put myself in their place. And for me, that means I believe that the Black American is entitled to restitution far surpassing what anybody has given I believe that there should be free healthcare, free education, no taxes for generations to even come close to making it equal. And the reason for that is because my great-grandfather, when he came here, he was welcomed and said, you can do what you want. This country is yours. Make it a bit as you wish, and I benefit from that. He was able to bust his ass and give it to my grandfather. My grandfather was able to bust his ass free of prejudice and give it to my father. And their spirit lives in me. So I finally can see that the struggle that you gentlemen face is way deeper than the 30 years you've been on this planet. It goes back generations, and just the few tastes of prejudice that I've witnessed in my life for people that I love, people of your same skin color that I love, I've felt their pain, and it has enraged me. I have no doubt if I was black, I would be killing some people. I don't know how some of you guys deal with the prejudices that you've dealt with, but you won't find it here. I want you to know that. At 19, when it didn't work for me, I decided to take my grandfather's spirit and dive into the world of drugs. I was an athlete. I could do. There was nothing that I didn't feel like I could do. And so when I was told, you smoke crack, you'll never come back, I said, yeah, for normal people, not for me. When I heard you try heroin once, you're addicted for life, sure, for normal people, you know. And so I went down that road, and it led to crime, drugs, jail, rehab, prison. I spent 4 years in rehabs. I don't know if you guys know what an inpatient rehab facility is, but it's a DOC facility, so there's an imaginary fence. I have absconded a couple times, but, you know, learning my lessons in life. But I basically spent 4 years of my life walking the line, doing what everybody told me. And I can't tell you how much it taught me, but it hurt. There are easier ways to learn lessons in life. And I don't recommend that, but something it taught me. Here's what it taught me. There are 0 shortcuts in life. And when I say 0, I mean 0. You may think you have a shortcut, you're lying to yourself, because it doesn't exist. As soon as you think you've got a skirt, that trait will lock in as an option. And before long, you're going to skirt on something that doesn't need to be skirted or can't be skirted, and it's going to get you. Some things really look good, and some things feel easy. Staying at home, collecting a check without working, seems easy, feels right. It is screwing you mentally. Lotto, for example, is the biggest bullshit on the planet. Breaks my heart every time I see somebody in there with a stack of scratch-offs, and they're sitting there holding up the line. Yeah, it pisses me off. I gotta wait. But I see somebody that can't pay their bills, and they're taking their last $50, putting it in Lotto, waiting on a prayer, waiting on a dream. Well, you know what? Sure, that's the biggest tragedy, is that with FaceTime, with social media, every single person that hits Lotto brags about it. All these superstars that get this super luck, they post it and they brag about it, and people see it, so they think it's really happening. I mean, the chances, I mean, you look at the numbers, it is millions to one, you know. I'm not going to live my life on a 1,000,000 to 1 shot. I want to encourage you guys not to live your life on a 1,000,000 to 1 shot. You know, there's no excuses for skirting work, and everybody is normal. Like, there are no exceptional people. We are all normal, and the secret in life is that normal people can be outstanding if they understand how to live their life. And I have found a way that has worked for me, and the gratitude that I have received from it has caused me to reevaluate my life and what's important. So we've got some new rules for N.A.T, as I'm sure you guys saw coming. And my father was in the Navy, so we moved every 2 years, every 3 years. Pack up the house, go to a different state. The only constant is change in life, and what I plan to teach my children and to the men that I lead and anybody that will listen is that as soon as you think you can stop change, as soon as you try and find your groove, you are hurting yourself, because this planet is constantly spinning. It's constantly rotating so that you cannot stop change. So my goal is that you'll learn to embrace change and just go with the flow. Everybody needs to play their position. First and foremost, you guys, I'm sure, have seen guys show up late. Punctuality is a big thing. Punctuality with me, punctuality with showing up on time, ready to work. And what does on time, ready to work mean? It means you're fed. And in the new system for N.A.T truck, it's going to be rested, exercised, fed, ready to get money, and ready to help others. Daydreamers do not have a place here. No phones on the job. I have seen guys on a job carrying stuff, and then as soon as they start walking back to the truck, phone's out, they're texting, they're communicating with somebody, they're trying to make sure the music is right, and that's going to stop. And the reason why is because we're trying to be the best moving company. We're trying to be the most expensive moving company. And the reason why we're going to be the most expensive and the reason why we're going to be the best is because we're going to give it everything we've got. And some people will reward us extraordinarily. Some people will not say anything but pay their bill. And some people, we will change their lives. Some people, we will impact their lives during the hardest thing they've gone through. They say moving is number 2 after death. And I don't know, public speaking might be up there too. I know that's 2 or 3, but the point is everybody is struggling a little bit. Some people are struggling brutally. And I don't want to be talking about last night's game or anything. When we're on the job, we need to be talking about the job. That we need to be focused on the job. We need to be focused on the customer. We're making friends with these customers. We are focused on potential problems. We're looking for trouble. There are people out there that are going to try and screw us. There are people out there that are going to find damage in their house and they're going to blame it on us. And we need to be vigilant to that end. And that's what people will notice. If you guys don't think that people are watching us get on our phones and text, and your mind can tell you, hey, I'm still doing the work, that's a shortcut. We're not doing shortcuts. Leadership. Leaders, I want all 3 of you guys to be leaders. I want all 3 of you guys to understand what it takes. Leaderships starts at $18 an hour. That's the bottom pay for a leader. Levi was making $25 an hour before he left. Ryan Barnes was making $25 an hour before he left. Mark Sturgis, $25 before he left. Now, the reason those guys made that much money is because I could give them a customer. And I could say, here you go. Here's where they're moving. Here's their phone number. You need a U-Haul. And that was it. They could call them. They could talk to them. They could go assess the job. If the job was different from my notes, they would change it on the spot. They could disassemble everything. They could reassemble everything. They could look for problems. They could delegate to the guys under them, which is huge. And that's where taking things serious. If you're joking, if you're bebopping music, if you're checking your phone every 5 seconds, nobody's going to listen to you. Nobody's going to respect you. The customer won't appreciate it. They will see it, and they will take it out of your tip. They have to pay me. I'm giving a contract. That's going to come out of your tip. We don't want that. Lead from the front. We've heard problems of guys taking over as leader, and then they just kick it on the truck. That's not how it works. The lead from the front, the main point of contact for the customer. So that means that as soon as you guys, if we meet at 8:30, that means you guys are there at 8:25, ready to go. As soon as 8:30 starts, we are working. We're not waiting for someone to show up. We're not getting in the truck and saying, hey, I haven't had breakfast. I need to go eat. You know, that's gone on. A little bit of me dies every time that happens. They're going to call en route. The leader's going to call immediately. Hey, my name's Justin, or my name's Brian, or my name's Elijah. I've got this address for you. I'm going to give you guys notes on this. You don't have to memorize all this. Just want you to know what I expect. I expect the leader from the start by 8:40. Like these people are expecting us at 9 a.m. By 8:40, I want them to have a call, an introduction, an expectation of when we're going to get there. Hey, please get everything out of the driveway. when we get there. The leader's going to be the driver, right? The leader drives. If you can't drive a truck, you can't be a leader. The leader's going to drive as soon as they pull up. As soon as they pull up, the helpers are not on their phones. The helpers are at work. The helpers are on the clock. So I expect the helpers to be paying attention. As soon as they pull up, the helpers get out. The helpers are going to clear the driveway. The helper is going to make the first introduction if these people come out. Hey, how's it going? My name's Brian. The helpers are going to guide the truck back. The helpers are looking for trouble. From the start, the helpers are looking for mistakes. Hey, if you see a pot broken, anything, you guys are protecting us. Protect the company. The leader does, as soon as the leader parks the truck, they don't unload. That's the helper job. The leader is going to go right into the house. Hey, so nice to meet you. Let's do a walkthrough. Let's see if what you guys want us to do today is the same thing you wanted us to do a week ago when Brian came and walked through this house. The leader is going to do all the packing. The leader is responsible for packing the truck, making sure they're the final call. They're the QC in restaurant, the head chef. He's no longer cooking. Friday night, he's not back there behind the line. He's up there quality control. He's watching the plates as they come out. That's what the leader does. The leader's going to pack the truck, and the leader's going to unpack the truck. As Brian learned the hard way at that job on the beach, he was unpacking a truck that he did not pack. I kind of set him up for failure there, which is why I didn't get mad. He saw a blanket, pulled it out. Had I been unpacking it, I would have known it had a pie in it, and that wouldn't have happened. So that was my bad, and I apologize for that, Brian. This is why you... And this is a good time to talk about damage. I will never make you guys pay for damage. I want you guys to understand that. This is a challenging job. People get sweaty. Things happen. Customers set us up, whatever. I will never say you need to pay for this. I will pay for 100% of any damage we do. I need to know. I won't get mad at you. I need to know. Hey, I don't want to hear, I have seen guys lie to me. Oh, that was like that. Bullshit, that was like that. I did the walkthrough. I saw it not like that. I don't want to have that conversation. I've made a million mistakes. I'll make a million more. So please, if you do something, and just let me know so I can handle it with the customer appropriately. Leader's going to add up the bill. Leader's going to understand how we add up the bill. The leader is not going to have to call me and say, hey, Brian, what do I charge him? Because the leader is going to know. 30 minutes before we get there, the clock starts. That's how we bill everybody. 30 minutes before we arrive, their clock starts. Their clock ends when we're done. And you'll learn the mistake of don't add up that bill too quick. Because the customer always goes, well, what you do is you tally it up and you say, should I stop the clock now? Or do you have more work for us? That's a key phrase. Should I stop the clock or do you have more work? You know, because then that tells them, look, don't ask us to do anything else. And we can jokingly, if they say, oh, stop the clock. And then 2 minutes later, oh, wait, can you guys just do that? Oh, should we clock back in? Because you said stop the clock. You know, and you can smile, but that's the kind of mentality we need to have. We need to be tuned into the customer and not expect them to know our routine. We are the professionals. We're the ones that are setting the precedence. Don't let customers tell you how to do your job. It's my biggest problem. I let a dentist tell me how to move a refrigerator one time, and I screwed it up. And the guy I was with was like, what the hell are you doing? That guy's a dentist. He's never moved a refrigerator. You've moved 4 refrigerators this week. You know, why are you listening to him? And, you know, live and learn, right? The leader's in charge of making sure the truck is clean. Either you delegate it or do it. But if I come back the next day and there's trash in the truck, only the leader's getting blamed. I don't care if it was the helper that left the trash in the back seat. The leader can't say, oh, so-and-so left that. No, the leader's job is to make sure it's clean. The leader's job is to fold the blankets. The leader's job is to do all that. If you want to delegate it, fine.